So what up, y'all? It's Tuesday, or day after Labor Day, I should say. But I guess if we're talking, it's actually about to be my Monday because it's going to be my first work day of the week going back. Last time I was at work was Thursday night of last week, so I'll be a little rusty on the keyboard when I go back, but it's all right. In fact, that's why I'm going back early, so I can get a head start on all the work that I pretty much need to catch up on. So I hope everybody had a safe Labor Day weekend. Nobody drove after they drank. Hopefully. Obviously, I had a lot to drink on Saturday, and I want to say I'm still not fully recovered from that. I ended up getting a little bit of like dehydration, scratchy throat. So I got this. It's actually Powerade. Not to mention the probably like 6 or 7 bottles of water I've had to drink today. Plus this Powerade that I was trying to drink this morning that I didn't even finish because I was just so dang sleepy. But it's just one of those things where you gotta rally from it. You gotta tell yourself, go out on a limb and have as good a time as possible while, trying to stay responsible. I mean, I think I did it pretty responsibly. I didn't drive anywhere when I was out of town. Obviously, I couldn't because I didn't get a rental car. I don't know anybody in Atlanta. So it's not like I said, let me see your keys. Let me get behind the wheel. I'm good. I'm not drunk. I can drive. No, everywhere I went, it was jump in an Uber or walk. I don't see why people have such a hard time or have such a huge problem with walking. I grew up I can't even tell you how many years of my life without getting rides anywhere when I was growing up. I had to walk everywhere. Every day in high school, I walked basically every day since, I want to say 5th grade. I walked to school and I walked home from school. I didn't have a car, when I was in high school. My parents, I didn't even have a license. So how am I going to drive? But, okay, occasionally, very rarely, I got a ride home from school or maybe on the way to school. But I'll be honest, at least 95% of the time, I'm talking from 5th grade to the end of high school, I was walking, to school and from school. And I didn't really have a problem with it. I mean, it didn't really feel all that great when I was doing it, but, so what? Big deal. I'm at this stage in my life now. I mean, I made it, that far, so big deal, right? But, somebody, after I left the game on Saturday, somebody told me where this establishment that I wanted to go to was at, and they said, it wasn't that far. Plus, with all the traffic that was, flowing out of the stadium, a few people told me that it was probably just a better idea to walk because I'd probably get there quicker, even though it wasn't in the greatest neighborhood. So I decided, well, screw it. I've been in plenty of bad neighborhoods in my life. What's another one in another city that I've never been in before? If anything, it'll be an experience, to say the least. But I made it to the venue that I was going to safely. Made it out safely. Didn't make it out sober. Hell, I barely even went in there sober, but I left less sober than when I went in. I'll say that much. But one thing I want to talk about is, I got a question that I want to ask people, and it's just a random topic, but is there a such thing? I mean, and I want to ask you people, do any of y'all know of any car that has been produced since, I want to say, like, maybe, let's call it the year 2000. Do you guys know of any car, any model, any make, whatever, that has rolled off the factory floor that didn't have a turn signal on the car? Question mark. Because it probably looks like a, one of those upside down question marks people. I don't know. But, do any of y'all know of any car, make, model, vehicle, whatever, that came without a functioning turn signal or a visible turn signal that was, in your, driver's seat capacity? Because, I find myself on the road constantly. I have to take my son to school every day. I have to take him home from school every day, and this is on the freeway. I go out of town a lot, just to get out of town, take my kids somewhere. So I'm on the freeway almost every day, at least Monday through Friday. Sometimes Saturday, Sunday. But, being out on the road, one thing I noticed is that people don't use their turn signals on the freeway. I mean, I just don't get it. Like, period. And I'm talking in the daytime, at nighttime, midday, midnight. It don't matter. They don't use their turn signals. And just in my opinion, I don't know. Like, I still do things that, I learned, like, in, driver's training, or when I had to take my driver's test to get my license, and some of the things, like, I only lost 10 points on my driver's test. I got a 90, so the only thing that I really had a difficulty with was the turn signal, or not the turn signal, a 3-point turn. And I actually didn't use my turn signal while I was approaching a right-hand turn. I didn't use the turn signal until I was about to make it. So my instructor, docked me points for that. So maybe that's something that, I kind of just kept in my head. And it's always been something that I've tried to have a mind about when I'm driving. But I just don't understand, like, you're on the freeway, you're going 70 plus miles an hour a lot of times, and people are, within feet of each other, sometimes inches, and I'll be honest, sometimes inches of each other, and they're just weaving in and out of traffic. No regard for anybody, no turn signals, no nothing, no honking to let you know they're nearby, whatever the case is. And honestly, and like I said, no turn signal, regardless of what speed you're going, it's just a common courtesy to say with your turn signal, hey, jackass behind me, I'm gonna move over in front of you. This turn signal is to let you know what I can't stick my head out the window and tell you myself. That's driver language. You see a turn signal, as another driver, you say, okay, this guy's getting over. No big deal. That's what cars are for. If cars weren't meant to have turn signals, why make a car? Why would we all be out on the road? Why would anybody have to use their turn signal, right? Now, I'm not saying we're all robots and we're all going to drive the same or whatever. Now, that's fine, okay? But if your car comes with a gas pedal and a brake, I'm pretty sure it comes with a turn signal. You know how to use your gas pedal. You know how to use your brake if you got to slow down. So why wouldn't you use your turn signal when you're, trying to weave in and out of traffic and, risk other people's lives and play the dangerous game? I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I don't get it. Does anybody have like an explanation as to why that is? Are some of y'all like those kind of drivers that just say, I don't give up about people behind me or nearby me, on the side of me or in front of me, whatever the case is, I'm going to go in and out of this, traffic lane as well as I please, and I don't give a dang what anybody has to say or think about it. But I'm going to be honest with you. You may not care. Those also who do it may not care. But don't think I'm not out on the road. They have that term that's out there, like social justice warrior or whatever. I mean, that's just like some, pandering term that these, Trump supporters probably came up with or something. Like it's so wrong to fight for social justice, right? But you can call me a road justice warrior. Since I'm already a road warrior, considering how many, miles I log, or have logged in my career of driving, you might as well just go ahead and add road justice warrior to that, because if I see somebody out on the freeway, like let's just say like scenario wise, I'm out on the freeway and I'm always checking my rear views, my in-car rear view, my side rear views. I'm always checking them, because if I have to merge, I want to know about my surroundings. I'm pretty aware of a person like that. And, when I see somebody that's like behind me, like driving like an asshole, you know what I do? I get in front of them. What I also try to do is I also try to use, and I'll explain this. I also do what's called formation driving, is when, and it's only when applicable. There's other cars that are on the freeway and they're all driving, at a reasonable pace. And what I'll do is I'll try to fill in some space. Like if I see somebody who's been driving stupid, or if they're approaching and I know they're going to be that kind of driver, I'll basically do what's called formation driving, where I just fill in a gap between whatever other drivers are on the road. Like if there's a car, let's say it's a 3-lane highway, you got a car in the fast lane, the middle lane's open, and then let's say there's like another truck or another vehicle in that slow lane, that 3rd lane. If I see somebody coming up, about a mile or so behind me and they're just dipping, right? I'm going to get in that middle lane, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and, careen my car in between both the vehicle in the slow lane and the one in the fast lane. So basically what that's doing is putting that person behind me technically in a no-win situation, because he can't get in front of me in that same lane. You got somebody in the fast lane that, unless either one of us change positions, he can't get in front of that guy. And there's that truck in the 3rd lane. If he doesn't move, then you have 3 lanes where this guy would have been trying to go that he cannot go now. And what's he gonna do? I mean, he's gonna have to sit there and face the music for, however long. Nobody else on the road was driving like that. So why should every other driver on the road allow that one person to be doing that? Sometimes I believe in karma, but then other times I believe this guy's probably not going to even get close to being pulled over like he should be for driving like that, because I know if I drove like that, I'd get pulled over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some time away from whatever drive that he's trying to make. He could be late for work. Too bad. You should have left early. Now, I know that's not my problem, and I shouldn't make it a bigger problem for him. I don't give a dang. Just because you're running late for work don't mean you have to put other people's lives at risk. Somebody may be on their way home from work that, you could be potentially taking out because you're running late for work. I'm not going to stand for that. Who are you to think that you're so special that you own the road because you're running late for work? No, everybody else is driving 70 miles an hour. Even if the speed limit is like 60 or 65, there's no reason for you to be doing 95 in a 65 zone. I'm sorry. Weaving in and out of traffic with no turn signal usage, right? I mean, you're going around these people without using your turn signal, driving super fast. You don't know what decisions other people are going to make out on the road. So it's just like, here, how about I get in front of you, teach you how to drive a little bit, more responsible and respectful, and then we'll go from there. Okay, you want to pull over and talk about it? Don't think that I won't. Okay, I wouldn't have a problem pulling over with nobody, and I don't need to say why. I don't need to explain why. Okay, I've had people, try to motion to me to pull over, and I've slowed down and attempted to get off the freeway, and they just kept on speeding up. Because you want to talk about it? We'll talk. You want to go beyond talking about it? Okay. Do I look like I'm moving? Don't think that, I'm immune to anything or against doing anything rash. Okay? Not that I want to, but it could happen. So like I said, find out a good idea to, go that route with me. But I don't know. Like I said, number one, I want to know if y'all know of any vehicles that have been made since 2000 that don't have turn signals, because I see a lot out on the road that don't use their turn signals. What do you guys think about people that don't use their turn signals on a consistent basis? Are you one of these people? If you are, why are you like that? I just want to know. Maybe it helps me, have a better understanding of, drivers on the road who drive like that. If you don't drive like that and you understand where I'm coming from, I would like some input on, what do you think can be done to maybe curtail some of this? That's just me checking in for today, but I want to know what y'all think, so let me know.